It's rare to meet someone who loves their bank account. Oh, wait, maybe I'm thinking of my mom. Yeah, she loves talking about her bank account, not me. There's always money leaving my account, and it's not always in a good way. So when I was trying to build wealth and create more money habits, I was excited to learn how to budget. You'd think it's all math and spreadsheets, but there's an art to it. Or in my case, an anti-art because as it turns out, most budgets fail and I've failed many times. But if you stick around, we'll talk about why they fail, how to avoid those mistakes, and I'll even share some actual tips on budgeting. Okay, let's get into it. We'll start with a story. Meet Alex. They just made a monthly budget and 1 week later, it's in shambles. They bought a bunch of new clothes, ordered takeout 5 nights in a row, and forgot about their budget entirely. If that feels familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. Nearly 80% of new budgets fail within the first month. That's right, budgeting is hard. The problem isn't you, it's your budget. Let's dive deeper into the numbers. First, why do most budgets fail? Well, most budgets fail for one simple reason. They're too strict. Strict rules often have one of two problems. The first problem is that there's no room for fun. The second problem is that there's no room for real life. As a result, you either ignore your budget or give up entirely. Think back to that time you told yourself you wouldn't spend any money on eating out. Maybe you decided to cook at home instead. But after a long day of work, cooking seems impossible, so you order takeout. It arrives and suddenly you're eating pad thai in front of your fridge while contemplating life choices. In fact, research backs up the common sense idea that overly restrictive diets don't work. Long-term studies show that very low-calorie diets have extremely low success rates, and most weight loss happens during the first few weeks of dieting. After that, you regain the weight and then some. The same principle applies to budgeting. No room for donuts, ice cream, or Uber Eats means no budget. But what's the solution? A better way? Let's look at a different approach. This approach is popular among financial planners and it's called 50-30-20. The 50-30-20 rule is a rough guideline that helps you decide how much of your income should be spent on different categories. And unlike the extreme diet approach, this approach gives you permission to eat dessert. Let's say how it works. 50% goes to needs like rent, food, and transportation. Think of these as non-negotiables. You need them to survive. 30% is for wants. These are the nice-to-haves like coffee, avocados, and concert tickets. Finally, 20% goes to savings or debt. This includes paying off student loans, saving for retirement, and yes, building your emergency fund. In total, 100%. Now that sounds a lot easier than counting calories or restricting myself to a meal plan. And I'm sure you can already see the benefits. No, 1, it's balanced. 50% of my budget goes towards my needs, 30% towards my wants, and 20% towards my savings and debt repayment. No, 2, it's flexible. Let's say I'm saving for a dream vacation. I can move some of my 30% from wants to needs and increase my savings. Number 3, it's realistic. Sometimes my utility bill is higher than expected or I have to replace my car's battery. Life happens and sometimes things come up that I didn't expect. I tried the 50-30-20 rule when I was starting out and I found it really helpful. It gave me a framework to distribute my money across different categories and helped me prioritize both my present and my future self. I mean, who doesn't love the idea of balancing their budget without feeling deprived? Yeah, me too. It sounds like a win-win situation. But here's the deal, allocating money to different categories is the easy part. Making it stick is where the magic happens. How do we make the 50-30-20 rule work for us? It's easier than you think. Let me give you 3 tips to get started. Tip number 1, automate your savings. By setting up automatic transfers, you can save money without even thinking about it. For example, I've set up an automatic transfer of $100 from my checking account to my savings account each month. With this method, you're essentially paying yourself first before you have a chance to spend the money. When the money is moved from your checking to savings account, it's like it doesn't even exist anymore because you can't access it as easily. And that's what makes it so effective. You might find that you can save even more if you set up automatic transfers for other things as well, like investing. Tip note 2. Review your budget weekly. Yes, I said weekly, not monthly. Monthly budget reviews are a thing of the past. They're just too late. By the time you realize you've gone over budget on something, it's already too late. We live in a fast-paced world and things change quickly. So if you want to stay on track, you need to review your budget regularly. Weekly is best. A quick review once a week can help you spot any issues early. For instance, if you notice that you've spent a lot on eating out in the last few days, you can take action right away. Instead of waiting until the end of the month when it's too late, you can start cutting back on non-essential expenses right away. Weekly budget reviews also help you stay motivated. When you see that you're making progress toward your financial goals, it can keep you motivated to stick to your budget. On the other hand, if you're not on track, it's a sign to take action and make adjustments. Overall, weekly budget reviews are essential for anyone who wants to stick to their budget and achieve their financial goals. It takes only a few minutes each week to stay on top of your finances and make sure you're making progress toward your goals. Tip no. 3. Adjust as you go. Be prepared to make changes along the way. Your budget should be a living document that evolves with you. Just like our needs and priorities change over time, our budget should reflect those changes. Remember, your budget should serve you. It's not supposed to be a master that controls you. Life is full of surprises, so be prepared to make adjustments as needed. For example, if you had an unexpected expense, like a car repair, you may need to move money from another category to cover it. Or if you get a raise at work, you may want to allocate some of that extra money to savings or debt repayment. Being flexible with your budget will help you stay on track and avoid getting overwhelmed. Don't be afraid to make changes as needed. Just remember the overall percentages. 50% needs, 30% wants, and 20% savings and debt. So if you're still struggling to stick to your budget, don't worry. The key is to keep trying. Budgeting takes practice and it's not uncommon to make mistakes. Just learn from them and keep moving forward. Remember, progress over perfection. Okay, so if your budget keeps failing, it's not you, it's your system. Try the 50-30-20 rule, make it flexible and stick with it. So will you use the 50-30-20 rule? Drop a comment below. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.